shut down a meeting falsely saying they needed a supermajority. And then it's like, okay, people, when I was on that side of the podium there, on the other side with the audience, I couldn't do this. Now I can. And now you will listen to what I have to say. And no, you can't shut me up right now, can you?
It was great.
Yeah, I mean, that's the inference. That is. I hope it leads people to understand they could do the same thing. You know, I mean, all politics is local.
We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Okay, what I want to do is I want to play the video of today's council meeting with Chris getting sworn in. Councilman Chris Almada. We can officially say Councilman Chris Almada sworn in today. I'm going to play the video and let's just go for it. Let me find it.
So, are you going to show him getting sworn in? Or are you going to be able to show him not letting them close the meeting down?
Yeah, well, that's a long video, and I'll just let it run. Here it is.
How long is long?
I mean, 2 hours and 24 minutes.
Oh, that's too long. Come on. You can do better than that. I do want to see him get sworn in. That's kind of funny.
For the future. Today, we especially lift up our newly sworn in council members, grant them wisdom as they lead integrity in every decision and humility to listen with open hearts. May they govern with fairness, compassion, and courage, always seeking the greater good of all whom they serve. Bless this council as a whole, strengthen the spirit of unity amongst its members, foster respectful dialogue, and guide each decision made in this chamber. May collaboration prevail over division. May progress be rooted in honesty, accountability, and service. We ask for continued protection and guidance over our mayor, our council, our employees, our first responders, and all residents of Dover. May this town continue to be a place where people feel safe, valued, and heard. As we begin this meeting, may our words be thoughtful, our actions purposeful, our leadership reflective of the trusted place upon us. We ask these blessings with gratitude and hope. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
God. There's the beginning. So now they got God watching. Awesome. They say stuff before a meeting, you know.
Of the 2025 general election. A statement of determination of the Board of Canvassers relative to an election held in the town of Dover, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, for the election of certain municipal officers in the municipality on the 4th day of November 2025. Daniela Mendez, Ward 1, Town Council, 2 years. Judy Rugg, Ward 2, Town Council, 2 years. Christopher Almeida, Ward 3, Town Council, 2 years. Arturo B. Santana, Ward 4, Town Council, 2 years.
Do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. And that I will bear.
I thought you had to put your right hand on the Bible.
And to the governments established in the United States.
This is Daniela Mendez. This is the woman that Dodd disparaged and disrespected with a flyer.
Well, that's her.
Yeah, disrespecting trans people. And I think they use taxpayer money to disrespect trans people in this flyer.
No, she's a little suspect herself.
And I said to Dodd, now you have a beautiful trans woman on your council. After you disrespected the trans community, now you have a beautiful trans woman on your council. And I said, you disrespected the disabled community. Now you have a disabled person on your council.
How many people are on the council? Do you know? 8. 8, yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established and to the governments
Just thinking, he could have said, would it be possible for me to be sworn in on the other side of the lectern there, the where he's been confined to all this time, because he don't have to use the back door no more.
I, Christopher Armada, I do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
And I do further solemnly affirm
And I do further solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
and justly
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
as Third Ward Council member
as Third Ward Council member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
And that I will not use
and that I will not use
my
my office
to grant preferential
treatment,
nor to seek
She breaks that down in a lot of short segments too. I like that.
favor
Is that his dad standing there holding the Bible?
or advantage not available to the public.
That it is.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's great. So that was his dad and his family, his brothers, sisters. That's nice.
Congratulations.
Get to have everybody up there.
I don't. Oh, that's the chief. That's Chief. That's Chief Delaney. Yeah. I've never seen him.
We had to give up a board member of Sativa Cross so he could be a councilman. Wow. It's going to look weird seeing him sit up there. It does look funny.
Okay, next up we have Amy Senka.
He's going to have to get more suits. It's funny seeing him sitting back there and seeing an authority figure walk into the scene. Almost feel like he's going to be taken away.
I, Arturo B. Santana, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the 13th Certified Local Government, New Jersey, 564 municipalities.
That was good.
Unlocking new grant opportunities, direct investment, and reinforcement and historic character of certify.
Sergio was taken off.
I will not be appointing a record.
Apparently, Sergio resigned yesterday, and they had him slated for a committee. They were going to give him a job, and they took him off after he resigned.
Really?
That just happened. That was interesting.
So he resigned at the beginning of a session. Wow. The reason with 7 members, what did they do?
Discuss a couple of the other folks with points down here. I'd like to move.
He already lost his election. It was his last day anyway. But he resigned on his last day.
Oh.
He's just a big baby.
Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye.
And I would like to replace Michael Scarnio with Clerk, who was an alternate. And if anybody has any questions, I can certainly discuss as to the rationales for this motion.
Second.
So that always.
To the mayor's point, the failure to pass of resolution 19 deprives the Board of Adjustment of a quorum, meaning
Second Ward is in dire need of dignified leadership. How refreshing to see a humble Dover resident in the role of Second Ward president. I know this is difficult, and I hope that today's celebration and today's beginning can be refreshing for all of us. And I know you have this power that speaks so gently and softly in our community and elegantly. Thank you for your elegance, your service, your kindness.
So does Chris get to ask questions now of people speaking? Wow.
Christian Velasquez, 10th Fifth Street. Happy New Year, Council. It's good to be back here. Just want to congratulate Chris. Yes, that's my councilman right there. I feel it feels good to have someone that represents my values. Me and Chris both grew up in Dover our whole lives, so it's kind of surreal being here. As many people know, we've kind of have an unconventional path that led us here. So it feels good to have the someone that represents our community and our values. So I just want to say congrats to all of you guys, and let's push Dover forward. As we know, there's a lot of crazy static news and a lot of Dover carries the that weight we've always felt all our lives, and I think this is a moment where we can turn past that and build our community better. So I don't have much to say. That's it. Congratulations and Happy New Year, everybody.
Was that Chris? The other Chris?
Good evening, Mayor.
Vasquez?
Council. I want to start by saying before I give my name, I haven't publicly given my name. I haven't given my name.
Yes, it was.
2022. I started to have a baseline of making sure our constitutional rights are respected. As a courtesy tonight, and as a friend of Chris, I will more than happily put my name on the record as Mike. I'm from New Jersey. So that's the thing.
You went on the record, Mike.
People,
That narrows it down.
government in this country.
Oh, Mikey,
It's not
Mikey.
perfect, no system is. But it's the best system we got. And the issue ultimately comes down to not enough people voting, and mostly the people who sit in these chairs. That's the problem. So I've known Chris for many years, and I've watched him have so much growth. And he's always served to me personally as somebody who, like, when you pull for inspiration and stuff, Chris has always been that person to me, and I can only maybe count that on my one hand. And that's the thing. I known him during the medical marijuana advocacy years, And that's when I started realizing how government works and everything like that. And that's when I started becoming an advocate for government transparency and accountability. And there couldn't be a better person in that spot on this council than Chris. I'm proud of him. Very happy for you, Chris, and also for the residents. I'm extremely happy for all of the residents who have a councilman that you can guarantee will pick up the phone, will answer you back, will talk with you, will communicate with you, will ask you questions. You know, just extremely proud of you, Chris. Proud of your journey, and this is a beautiful new year. This is literally the best way to start off 2026.
Edward Grimes, East Hanover. Congratulations to the new council people. I want to talk about Zoom access because all week long we had meetings, all week long, and they were all Zoom meetings, and all the disabled people, disabled vets, people with cancer, people with MS could take part. Now all of a sudden, no more Zoom access. Why is there no Zoom access? You can't say you can't afford it. You can't say you can't do it. You did it all week, but you don't care about vets. They're not on your radar. Disabled vets, the sick and the dying are not on your radar. Why are they not on your radar? You take pictures with vets, but you don't care about them. Why are they not able to take part on a Zoom meeting, Mayor Dodd? Why? Will you answer that question for me? The chickens have come home to roost here in Dover, and I'm glad to see it. There was a lot of disgusting comments and flyers last year about transphobia, ableism, Islamophobia. Well, there was a transphobic flyer put out last year, and now you have a beautiful trans woman on your council. You disrespected and disparaged disabled people last year. I'm the first. 1 year ago today, you disrespected a bunch of disabled people in wheelchairs that were here. And now you have a disabled person on the council. And I've watched Chris. When I first met Chris, he was in a wheelchair, having multiple surgeries, having his urethra reattached. I mean, I can't imagine. I've been through a lot of surgeries. And when I do war stories with Chris, I lose every time because he's been through the ringer. And he has nothing but compassion for sick and dying people because he's a sick and dying person himself. He's suffering. And he understands other suffering, something that Mayor Dodd does not understand because there's no Zoom access. Why is there no Zoom access? Why is it not a thought in your head? You disrespected women. You disrespected black people last year. Now you have more women on the council than ever. Your approval rating, they took a poll, your approval rating is at 13%. I don't know how you can go any lower than that. You need to make some changes. So to the people that are on this council, I'm not speaking to the losers of the last election. I'm speaking to the people that are on this council, that are still on this council for another 2 years. Take heed of the last election. That was a mandate against radical right-wing policies of Dodd. He's not a real Democrat. Real Democrats are not Islamophobic and transphobic and ableist. You should take that to the Republican Party where you belong.
Good one. Good one.
You don't belong in the Democratic Party. That's not the playbook. Different playbook. And you've been playing this book for years, and the chickens are coming home to roost. You know what that means? It means your political career is over, and anyone who votes with you is done.
Good one. That was good.
Good afternoon. My name is Maria. I want to start off by thanking Daniela Mendes, Judy Brock, and Chris Almada, my third ward representative, which I hope that so many blessings come to our ward in our town. The three and Sandra working together, and I hope with the other, Mr. Espacio and Mr. Santana work together with the mayor.
They were just getting to speak, so Chris is up there.
I just wanted to First, thank
And,
the mayor for listening to the community and freezing the parking situation, because it wasn't working out the way it was rolled out, and I'm just happy that it's frozen for now, and it's gonna be, looked at again. So thank you for that. I wanted to ask, because I don't know, I see Mr. Ramirez, Justin Ramirez here, and I know he does, I believe he does social media and IT. I don't know if we are live streaming this, or, my question is why we were able to live stream all this other time. Why can't we live stream again while the meeting is live? Because that is important for the people that can't come out. Like, it's a snowy day, senior citizens cannot clean their cars, they cannot come out to be part of this, and we have to make it easier for the community however we can. And Zoom is easy, so I hope that we could bring Zoom and a in-person meeting. And Mr. Santana mentioned that the people mentioned by Ms. Whitner were not recognized by him. Larry served on the zoning board, and so did I. I served with him. Oh, but
That's what I meant.
no, but I'm saying, as council people, you should know who's serving on your committees. You should know, like, you've been serving for years. You should know how many years Larry has served. I served the full term, and he's well known and he's dedicated. TC served as well, but so everybody should know who's on your committee. You should attend the committee meetings as well, and they should be virtual as well because they're not. So, and I agree with Mr. TC McCourt saying that the votes, that, they had the quorum here and whatever it was decided for these individuals to be put in, Mr. Larry and Mr. TC. And I'm glad that Sergio was taken off the table. I also wanted to ask on social media, and I know sometimes it's full of, just buzzing words, but somebody was mentioning that Sergio Rodriguez was getting a job in town, and I hope that is just stupid talk, because that would be like the biggest mistake here. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm Dennis Tui, 23 Passaic Street, Dover. Congratulations to everyone. Hey, B, I want to thank you for being a great councilman in our fourth ward. You always answer questions. You're always putting stuff on Facebook about what's going on in our ward, and I'd like to thank you for that. I've been in this town a long, long time, and I find it sad when we moved here in 1961. My sister still lives in the house we grew up in, and when we moved here, politicians, teachers, everybody was involved as one. And because of that, there's 9 of us moved to Dover. There's a family of 10, but we lost a little sister before we moved to Dover. And all of us were active in the town as far as sports goes, but we had mentors. The mayors mentored us, the aldermen mentored us, the teachers, the coaches who volunteered, all mentored us to give us an opportunity to flourish in life, and we did that. We're all very successful, but you know what the bottom line is? No matter, my brother lives in Michigan, my brother lives in South Jersey, my brother lives in Rochester, New York, we all still care very much about Dover, because we knew what Dover gave us. It's a beautiful town. It's a great town. The unfortunate part is the people outside of Dover don't see it that way. And we have to bring that back, where Dover is a respected town. What Bassett, that us were kids, knew what Bassett Highway was like, where you could just walk around. And they're the things that I hope someday we can strive to get, and that we all care enough to create that, because it is a great town, and I'm very proud to live in here. I'm very proud to tell my daughter, who doesn't live in Dover, but that I'm glad that I still live in Dover, and that we can achieve that, because all the stuff, I love how people say, well, you know, you jumped ship, you did this, you did that. No, I stayed on the same road. My belief.
Yeah. That was the most craziest council meeting ever.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much.
Wild meeting.
I gotta say, had me chuckling.
Did
You
you
know?
guys?
I
Did you
mean,
watch the
yeah,
part where the mayor left? Did you watch that yet?
No, we
no,
didn't get to that.
we're getting there. We want to do it smooth, you know. Like I
Oh,
want to.
yeah.
I'm not in a hurry to
Oh,
pass
yeah, no,
through
good,
this.
good. Don't be
Hey,
in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry.
yeah, and
Savor every
yeah.
second.
This will be posted in full, right? I mean, so
I'm
you
gonna make a great
not
video.
the not the meeting.
I had two cameras rolling. Although my battery died at the end when things kind of hit the fan a little bit. But yeah, I can give a couple teasers because you haven't seen it yet.
Oh man.
But yeah, you got the mayor, the guy presiding over the meeting, and he just calls it quits.
You know, it's like,
Like,
oh,
who
it's
does that?
the little bit of power that comes with having a say from the other side of that table, you know, where they can go about it, where he can't be told to shut up anymore.
He was trying to pick his toys up and walk out of the sandbox.
Yeah, and Lefty's suggestion. Listen, don't be a Democrat. I mean, be a Republican. Now, I understand that to not be a swipe at all Republicans, but hitting him where it would hurt. You know, as opposed to.
That's what he did. Yeah.
Okay, it's like I always do when I call somebody a weasel. No offense to weasels. You know what I mean? I always add that. You know. So this is really sweet. You know, I mean, seeing him standing on the other, just seeing him sitting up there, you know, and having support come from the audience. And
so,
I'm sorry.
Motion that failed, right? And it failed 4-3.
Okay, so they were not following Robert's rules. The attorney was wrong. He said he had a legal opinion about it, but his legal opinion was wrong.
Well, it was his own opinion.
Well, the best part about it was when the first speaker during public comments got up and picked it apart where he was wrong. I mean, systematically went through every single thing that he did wrong and what you're supposed to do. And then the attorney at that moment had his opportunity to have a nice shining moment to respond and says nothing.
Yeah, that's it. That says everything right there too.
Said nothing.
Yeah.
And the 4 that voted no say you have to change the vote for that to be reconsidered. Right, but you need to reconsider. That's the threshold in order to vote for it.
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, he's arguing back and forth. The greatest thing ever was when they tried to adjourn the meeting, and Chris said no.
But I'm trying to understand because you read.
Yeah, he said no. Pulled the microphone down, the professional pulling the microphone down. No.
Yeah, that, that you got to get a still of and frame it. Seriously, to getting, leaning in. Put that next to him on the other side being shut down,
Yeah, I was just watching that part of the video that I took right before I hopped on. I got a couple really good shots.
Really think about it. This could be very encouraging to people to do something like this, because you could side by side have video of him getting shut down somewhere or getting shit, and then him shutting somebody else down. Quick picture of them, hand on the Bible, and then over to the other side. Yeah.
I'm gonna make a great edit, because there was a lot of things that I said before the meeting on camera, and every single
legal
thing,
advice there,
boom,
Ramon.
boom, boom, happened.
Yeah, but you could put something together specifically to encourage local participation. Think if you could do that, why not do it? It doesn't cost money.
Yep.
You don't have to raise money. You don't have to. You have very few rules to put your name in.
No. Councilmember Rudd? No. Councilmember Santana?
And they went out. This is a back and forth for over 10 minutes, easy.
Yeah. Yeah, just
Look at him walking out.
Trying to walk
But
out.
like,
Look, he's walking out.
too.
He's walking out of the meeting. He's walking out of the meeting. Look, he's walking out.
you could argue it yourself right now and go, no,
Look, he's going home. He's going home.
The attorney gave him advice to just leave. If there's no quorum, they can't do nothing. That was the advice of the attorney.
I'm surprised there
You'll
wasn't.
have your Johnny Black on the rocks. He wants his Johnny Black on the rocks.
He wants his Johnny Black.
Goodbye.
Sit down. Sit down.
Punk.
Sit down.
He punked himself.
So if he said shut up to you, Chris could say, no, let him speak. I'd like to hear what he has to say.
He punked himself.
Mayor, answer one simple question. If the rule of law is written and his opinion
This is great. He throws out a vet. He kicks out a vet out of the meeting.
you can warn me all you want, sir.
Yeah, this woman's is a vet, the one who's speaking up right now.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, you could make a good super cut of this. I mean, this is like, it's
He
news.
doesn't respect you.
Thank you. Warning number two.
He talks about how he loves vets, and then he kicks
He's
one
about
out.
to throw her out in like 1 minute.
She's a vet.
I am having a conversation with the attorney. Please, I will have you removed. Stop.
She's a vet.
Stop. I don't care.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, more. Give us more. More. Give us more. Keep talking.
More ignorant.
Better tie your other shoelace so you don't trip over it.
He's still standing too.
Yeah, you were going somewhere.
Na, na, na,
Boy.
na, na, na. Hey,
Oh my
hey, hey, goodbye.
Still standing.
Is a motion for executive session.
Which rule do you follow and don't? One separation and one
Councilmember Almeida?
He calls her out. Tells the
Remove
cops.
that
"Get her
vet.
in."
Remove that vet.
Councilmember Estacio? Councilmember Mendez? Councilmember Mendez?
Yes. Retired law enforcement.
Councilmember Rudd?
Past president.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Removed a vet on New Year's Day. Happy New Year. He just went through a whole speech before that for 5 minutes about how he respects vets and honors them on Memorial Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day.
This is where, seriously, you could cut out that and go right to him. You know, you can have so much fun with this.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You should have bought some popcorn.
Oh man, do we need popcorn for this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? What was that, Mikey? That was a lot of fun.
Never a dull moment.
I love this. I love this. I can't tell you how much I fucking love this.
This is great. This is literally the best.
Yourself, take a selfie with this.
This is the best
Damn
New
it.
Year's council meeting so far. We've had some good
I
ones,
think we
but
got it. This is fun. This is fucking fun.
this is the best.
Oh my
one.
God. Oh, this is the best. You want to smoke? Let's go
Yeah,
smoke.
they just removed the vet.
Yeah, they just kicked the vet out.
Shit, man. He said, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. He said, I don't care about vets. Amazing. Hey, Happy New Year.
Good question, man. Good.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, he won't answer. He'll never answer that shit.
Fucking joke.
Yeah, it is. You see it.
Tiny Trump. That's all he is. Tiny Trump.
Little dick energy. It's little dick energy. Let's go smoke. I need to go smoke. Okay, let's go smoke. People, that's how you storm me. You be nice to me. It works on me.
Yeah, I hate when it happens. This is their compromise. They made some kind of backroom deal where they compromised. You can ask Chris about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, when we were walking down the hall after the little recess, Mayor Ramon, the lawyer, comes out of the room as we're walking down the hall. I go, Ramon, the people are really upset right now. And he's like, why are they upset? I said, you know, that whole thing with the Roberts rules.
Oh, yeah. You know, where you were wrong. And
you were wrong.
You're supposed to be the expert.
Yeah.
There was a 12-year-old kid that was nodding his head when we talked. Yeah. That was something. That's something. That was a good taste, man. That was definitely a good taste.
I can't wait to see Mikey's video.
This is what happens when you take part.
I'm going to do a great edit, and I think I pretty much just have to title it "Mayor walks out of his own meeting," something simple like that, and base it around. I already have it in my head how I'm going to create the first 30 seconds that basically grabs the viewer to want to watch the whole video.
You have the statements he's making in support of veterans earlier, and then I don't care.
2 minutes earlier.
2 minutes. Minutes. Right, but can you make like a guy's head spin around and then start talking?
I was just saying,
go from one to his head spins around. You want to go? I support them. I don't care about.
You have the clip of him praising veterans and saying how much he loves them, and then it's like that thing where it's like a few moments later.
Yeah, right.
Basically saying he doesn't care about vets.
Yeah. Well, you got artificial intelligence that you could make him start to look red with smoke coming out his ears, and then leave the right video on. I mean, come on, this is like you got some good material there.
The lawyer really is one of the worst, though. He really is one of the worst,
Well, but it's such a great example because it has 60 some municipalities. There's a bunch of other shit going on, and there's somebody else there getting shit on. And then to think, wait a second, I'm a person in good standing in the community. Only 380 people voted in the last election. I think I can do this too. I mean, how cool would it be to start a trend? All politics is local. I mean, you could get clips all over of people saying that. I mean, people all politics is local. Well, all politics is local. And then have Chris going, all politics is local.
It's wild too. That I get it. Like lawyers are there for the business of the township. They're not trying to really pay attention to too much other things. But the allegiance that lawyer has to the mayor.
Yeah, it's disqualifying. I mean, it's disqualifying. I would think to, it's partisanship. It's like you're not supposed to be a member going one way or the other, and if the mayor, but then how does he get his job? The mayor hires the attorney. Who is it? A board decision of some sort?
The mayor's got a lot of influence over the.
So basically, you hire people that'll do your bidding, and hope they stay loyal to you, like an attorney, Yeah, that's funny. That's something. How long has Chris been showing up at the meetings? A couple years now? 2 years maybe?
Years, yeah.
I mean, as soon as he could physically get to doing it, almost,
He cooked them. He cooked them day one.
Yeah, he did. He totally did.
Yeah, he was already in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah. Oh, and I just in passing, because I rarely say, I wish I was going to say something, because I just say it. But every now and then referring to a vet, to refer to them as a U.S. military veteran, it carries a lot more weight. Just saying, and to kick a U.S. military veteran out of, it's like it's not just, it gives it special. I don't know. It seems to work for me, you know.
Yeah, especially in a moment where if he had his choice, he would have already left the meeting himself. He didn't even want to be there kicking out of bed. It's like, how does that compute?
Kicking out of bed on New Year's Day.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, to get a reactionary statement like "I don't care," you know, where have I heard that before? That's happened more than once, where somebody just says, "Well, I don't care," and it's so wrong to say. I mean, why don't you? You know,
it was just the worst timing for him. It was the worst timing for him. Everybody in that room. It was not lost on the fact that he just spent 5 minutes before that saying how much he cares about vets.
Yeah. You know, I was
like, dude, you lost.
I was told by my state senator Cecil when I first met him while I was running to take his seat so I could talk to him in the Asbury Park Press editorial review board. When I was talking to him down in the office before going on in, I said, look, there's something else going on that really outside of what we've been dealing with, is that apparently the commissioner of the health in New Jersey, when he says it's the health, the policy of the Department of Health, whatever he says is the policy becomes the policy, you know, or the opinion. So he can spout opinions, blame them on the entire department, health, and doing that. I forget what I was telling you about this. I'm just having so much fun.
Well, you're probably relating the fact that he was given his opinion and giving it more merit than the actual law, the way that the code is written for the township. You know, your opinion really is it's rendered useless. It means nothing. And I even said at one point, I said, you can't ignore the council's powers. They have voting powers to move forward.
But when you get right down to it, in any court case, it seems that one lawyer's opinion is wrong, you know, and it gets judged on as, that opinion's wrong. It doesn't count, you know. So, like, that may be his opinion, but it's obviously quite possibly wrong, you know, and should be discussed.
I believe 1,000%, and maybe I'm wrong, but I believe that he knows he's wrong. He knew he was wrong the whole time. I watched the footage back. I had the opportunity to review the moment when it happened. That I have a great angle of the mayor and the lawyer and them conversating and the eyes and the whole thing. And I got to kind of really just watch it over and stuff. And I got that gut feeling, that gut instinctual feeling that you really just can't ignore. I got the feeling that he knew he was feeding them garbage and was just hoping that it would just get under the radar. It was like they knew they got caught. You know, if I'm trying to analyze the behavioral patterns of like what they did in that moment, I don't think it was a mistake.
I like watching when somebody's a self-professed, somewhat of an expert on body language, and I really like listening to what's going on. Like, you know, like, see, he's leaning in there. But now that he's leaning back and he put his hand in his pocket, that's because. And I go in thinking, okay, they're probably more right than wrong, you know, even if it was 60-40. So I want to listen to it so I can pick up how to do that. I love trying to catch people that I'd want to play poker with because they don't have a good poker face. You know, I mean, you can see their joy. You can not even in smiling, the pattern of the eyes looking around. So anytime somebody's explaining something like that, I'm kind of paying attention and going, I see it. When I was on a radio show with Ken down in Atlantic City area somewhere, way back, talking about David Evans, and a guy says, you don't like him very much. As soon as his name came up, without me saying a word, and I thought, well, that's like trying to hit a dartboard where if you hit a number, you win, you know, any number at all, you know. But then he said it was you look down into your left when you heard his name, and I always remembered him saying that. And I'm looking for people like, and I watch when people are trying to remember something, how they particularly look, and then
Yeah,
I mean,
energy don't lie. Energy does not.
yeah, it's you can pick up on that, and I like when it's pretty overt. I mean, even if a person doesn't think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was good to
I,
see, man. That was good
I
way to
think
start the
Chris
year.
is he's gonna do a great job. I think he's gonna do a great
Yeah.
job, I know I'm biased to this or whatever, but I think the residents they're lucky to have him.
Well, yeah, I think that'll prove to be true, um, because I wouldn't be surprised if there are stories by next year from people I don't know with about, he called me back 2 days later and found I didn't ask him to find out. I mean, Chris will do those little tiny things that people who are there at all more than once will recognize as what you want. Somebody to actually, and then it'd be funny because there's things that he's going to find out that he didn't know, and we didn't know, and there's always something going on you don't know, and it's usually nothing organized or not a conspiracy, just the way things kind of work. That I mean, he's going to be have more of a coalition with this person than that in certain matters, and then he's going to become real attuned to how other people might be thinking, and then he gets to talk with supporters and try to where he's on the inside now. He gets to do that.
Yeah, and he's not reduced to 3
really
minutes.
Cool. Yeah,
he can speak over 3 minutes. So
and now whether or not it works, I mean, he could be just sitting there and then listening and go, I'd like to hear him speak, and that's all. Not say I demand he gets to speak. He gets to be that person. No, I would like to hear him speak. Right?
How you guys doing? What's up, Jim? Nice to see you. Happy New Year, Jim.
Happy New Year, but you have made my New Year happy just by watching what I was seeing before, and I'm real happy to get to see it because it's like being there, and I'm thinking, holy shit, he's on the other side. Look at that, and it's so cool, And so what we're just saying is now something so simple like you sitting there, and then something going on, and you get to actually say, no, I'd like to hear him speak, and you let it roll. No, we're not. Okay. It's just being there. You're a guardrail.
Yeah.
You are. That's what you are.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Like the experience was crazy. Being on the other side, being all these years being on the opposite side of
Yeah, right.
the other side of the room. It's just something weird and different. And it's another something that it didn't really intimidate me, but like it really made me. I was more cautious, you know what I mean? More cautious. And not only that, but like in the roll call, I'm first because of my last name. So,
yeah.
It's crazy.
Never thought of that. I mean, there are times when the person who's last gets to, if his vote doesn't matter, he can vote one way he'd rather, but you don't know if you're a deciding vote. But it's going to be interesting to see how you feel you get in tune with that. Because going first, your guesses have to be more accurate than theirs.
What was nice? I'll tell you, one of the moments that stood out to me that I personally enjoyed was after the meeting when we were speaking for a couple minutes. You wind up saying, hold me accountable. You have no idea how much I love to hear that. You have no clue. I mean, I can try to tell you through words or whatever, but you have like that's just mad respect, and it was so encouraging to hear, and I just want to say I appreciate everything about what you're going to do here with moving forward.
Thank you, Mikey. Here's the whole thing. Like I was an activist first, right? Activism, and getting out there, and I practice what I preach. If I want accountability, it has to start with me too. Like it's not just pick and choose who gets to hold who accountable or not. No, hold me accountable. Whether you're my friend, you're my constituent, whether you like me or you don't like me, or it doesn't matter. Hold me accountable, because that's going to keep me honest. You know what I mean? And that's the type of person I am. I want to be honest. If I don't have an answer for you, I might have to do some research and get back. But hold me accountable. Ask me hard questions. And if I don't know the answer, like you might not want to hear it, but I might tell you, I'm not too sure, but I can double check and I'll get back to you, and that's another thing. As an activist, I can be everything I want in a politician because I am the politician now. So I know what activists want. I know what they need. I know the reassurance, the compassion that people want to hear from. You know what I mean? And they want to feel like they can trust that. They can trust the process. They can trust the person that's going to help them process these things in any government body. You know what I mean? Local and anything. And not a lot of politicians are going to tell you, hold me accountable. I don't know too many of them. So and that was the main thing. Hold me accountable too.
So when somebody who's an activist for something that we probably all would say he's on the wrong side of this coin, but somebody's not on the inside, somebody's on the outside doing it from the other direction, you're gonna end up having to be like you would want somebody to have been to you when you were on. You follow me? It's gonna be
right.
I'm really living a little vicariously through your situation right now. I feel like I'm a part of it. Even though I've done fuck all to help you get there, I still feel a part of it because it's like having one of your own on the inside.
Yeah, I second that.
And if you're really lucky, maybe we, mostly Mikey and Lefty, can help you start a trend. If there's anybody that really ever wants to do that, I'll make myself open to any questions you may have. If you might end up advising somebody else in a position like yours, and then there'll be another. That's like getting a vote twice on an issue too. When you do that. And what you said about being an activist first reminded me of when, my fate in Washington after being arrested without parole laid in the hands of whoever is going to be a judge, because we outweighted a judge who was way biased against me. The lawyer said, we can pretend like we're going to make a deal all the afternoon and she's going to be off the bench at 3. So about 2:00, we say that we've come to a decision and she'll have to recuse herself to get somewhere else. And we get a different judge. And I'm like, awesome. So he goes and he comes back. He's walking down the hall and he looks up at me and he's smiling. I'm okay. We got a judge, and he's smiling. He goes, okay, we got a judge. He was formerly a maverick defense attorney. Okay, that would be like he was formerly an activist. It's sort of like having been that person. People, I think they're going to be able to trust you a lot quicker too.
He's a man of the people, man. That's what I kept telling all my viewers today when I was there while I was supporting. A man of the people, and a win like Chris is a win for everybody. That's why I have nothing but faith in the fact that he'll, represent everybody. Not do the whole, side versus side thing or whatever. But you're representing everybody, and I know he knows what it takes to fulfill that. There was a minute at the end where I noticed that the mayor, he didn't like that you said no to adjourning the meeting, and it was like a little.
So what?
He was kind of looked like he was like chihuahua barking a little bit at you, like yeah. So I don't know. I got a lot of good. I loved my perspective of where I was with watching things go down.
Yeah, you had a good angle. You had an angle of the lawyer and the town attorney and the mayor. You had a pretty good angle, and that's another thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm first in the roll call, so I was the first no. So it's you know what I mean? It's
before you came on, Chris.
Yeah,
you did the professional. You pulled the microphone down when you did it because you said it with conviction. You said the no. You pulled the microphone down like a pro and said no.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing, is the tone. I wanted to be respectful, but at the same time, I wanted to be like a stern no.
Yeah.
And another thing too, I had to question the town attorney whether it's we're going by opinion, and we have ordinances and Robert's Rules of Order that say different. I understand. It may be a little hard for a lawyer to do his research on the spot with half the town there, or good amount of town people there. So I understand it at the same time, but we have to interpret the law by the way it is. We can't. It's one of those things where you got to put the feelings aside.
Well,
Um,
you gotta come back later too. You're the voice that can say there's no need for us to decide this at this meeting. I'm gonna look into this. I'll make sure. You get to do that. If
It
you,
was the coolest moment. Out of all of the years that I've ever attended council meetings, that is the very first time that I've ever seen a councilman do exactly what he did. Challenge the attorney over Robert's Rules of Order. Usually you don't see an attorney giving an opinion that somehow doesn't mirror or work in parallel with Robert's Rules of Order.
Like he's been wrong about his everything he's been wrong about lately. He's wrong about the First Amendment. He's wrong about the legal issue with the judge. The judge handed down a ruling and he disagreed with it because his opinion was different than the judge's. Well, the judge is what matters. So, but your opinion.
It goes back to, again, I think he knows exactly what he's doing. He's just the mayor's lapdog, and he's not an idiot. The dude's not dumb. He knows what was going on there. They tried to get that to go underneath the radar and have it just slip right past by, and it got hit like a car hitting a brick wall, and it all collided. It had to get dealt with because you got to follow the law.
Yeah, but it was pretty good. We were able to compromise, and the whole politics is compromising. So being able to compromise and be able to kind of iron those things out where we both feel comfortable. It's
a balancing act. Yeah.
It's about, yeah, exactly. You have to have balances, and that's fine. We can balance each other all we can. But it's a new year in Dover, and it's a new beginning. And I think we did. I don't want to say this needed to happen, but if it didn't happen today, it would happen at the next meeting or the next one. But it's good, because we mean business, and I hope the people that we represent and voted for us see that this is how it's gonna go. This is how we're gonna do. Like, if we got to stand on what we believe in, and as long as we're doing it for the people, we should be okay. We should be able to stand on that business and stand on what we believe, because we have the people, the constituents that are gonna back us up. And hey, you never know. I say this. I was gonna be a one-term person, but I honestly don't know. Because the people, if the people are comfortable and trust me enough, then I think it would be a good run for a second term and see how it goes. But I honestly, what the feelings emotions that I had today, and still kind of coming down on these feelings and adrenaline, and all this love that I got from everybody, is really making me think about this again, because I know I have a strong voice, and I know I am a good leader. So maybe this is the route for me.
Well, yeah,
It's your attitude. You have it. The way that you go about things is that's why I think you got a lot of votes. I think people voted for you because of the way you hold yourself, and you are very strong in your convictions.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be fun watching, because I think you're already understanding it, that if you made yourself one term and whoever filled your spot was not like that at all, that's like giving somebody a taste of food and walking away, man. That's how you're going to feel. you've been drafted, my friend. You don't have much of a choice, and you don't even know it, but circumstance has drafted you into a position where you know you can make a difference. Now, on a different level, I know what that's like. Um, it's a double-edged sword, you know. You'll have other things to do, and you'll realize what will suffer. And then people again might say to you, "That's a little bit of hubris there, thinking that if you walk away, things aren't going to happen as quickly as they might have." And you'll know for a fact it is, you know. But you got a good poker face because I just spent a minute watching you while you were talking and listening, you know. And it's very good, man. You got the right face. You're a shoe in to have an effect, you know.
Very calm demeanor, very laid back, very calm. But when you have to lay the hammer down, you will.
Yeah. Yeah. But I just hope there does come a time when, you know, it's normally said by like a judge when somebody's objecting, you know, I'd like to hear him speak. You know, you get to do that when somebody's going, you know, your time is up. I mean, if you ever felt it was appropriate or you wanted to send a message that we have time, don't we? I'm sure it'll be short. And then somebody can say, no, we want to keep it moving. Then you get to do that. Okay. You know,
Well, I mean, it was displayed
no
today, you know.
attitude. Yeah, that's really cool, man.
Yeah, and that's what you know, we displayed today was that, you know, if we think something is not fit, you know, executive session or whatever it is we have to do, but we will not leave it just, you know, it's just not, it's not right, you know, it's not.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, I hope everybody see it, and I hope this is what everybody voted for. That's my main thing, you know. I hope this is what everybody voted for, and yeah, and just, you know, negative, positive, like I said, hold me accountable, please. Like, I want you to hold me accountable, like, please, like,
I love it.
you know,
You
like,
see how it says on my name?
there's nothing better than open line of communication, negative, positive, it doesn't matter, you know, like.
Well, yeah, well, you know, you don't know everything, and a lot of people don't know that they don't know everything. It's actually, Lisa, Lefty is at the top of my list. I use an example a lot. That for whatever people might construe as things they might not agree with on you, that you would say, well, why not? That would be a reaction. You know, you would interact. You want to engage, and you can be. You know, and at times I've seen you somewhere say something like, "Well, that's because I'm an idiot, I guess. I don't know." You know, I mean, there was no running from it. And then that means when you are otherwise, you're being genuine shows. You know, and I see Chris, I see you as being able to slip into doing that because you are in a situation where you're going to make decisions, and those decisions can affect other people. And that would weigh on you, where a lot of other people don't come from that same cloth, you know? So, yeah, man, you know.
I sat down next to a woman today, and we talked for a few seconds. I said, you know, I don't really know who you are, but I said, either you know who I am and you either love me or you hate me. She goes, no, I think I love you. Who was that, Chris? Who was I sitting next to?
She's been taking part in our burn up cleanups, everyone. She was there for the first burn up cleanup.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So,
Jim, you see how my name says Mike in the corner there, and it says from New Jersey?
Yeah.
The reason why it says that is because in the beginning of the meeting or the beginning of public comments, you know how I would never give my name or my address. I don't ever want to, you know, share that courtesy right off the bat. You know, I do that for a number of reasons or whatever. But today, for the first time since 2022, I put my name on the record as Mike from New Jersey to try to show that, like, the fact that if people are respected on those councils, you're going to get respect out of the general public. You know, so out of respect for Chris and the transition of power, more than proud to put my name down on the record.
yeah, that was big. I was shocked. Like, I don't know if my poker face changed there, but I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this is crazy because, you know, like, I've known you for years, Mike, and I know what it is, and I use the same playbook as you. You know, like, that's where I got like my inspiration of actually not, if I don't have to, I won't. If I don't feel comfortable, if I feel like I won't get retaliated on or anything, then there's no need, But obviously now I'm a public official, but and I'm perfectly fine with it, because I know I will do the best that I can.
Yeah, it was done out of love and respect, and for the whole idea of dedication for community service. Very proud of you, Chris.
Thank you.
Could you, just out of curiosity, it seems like I like the, you don't need to give your name so you don't, because that's just healthy. But almost a compromise, like, but I suppose if you want to get my attention and you don't want to say, hey, you could call me Enrique tonight, or just pick a name. I said, it's not my name, but
Chris understood exactly why. Even afterwards, I asked him a couple questions, for my little interview that I'm going to do for making an edit. And he already gave the reason as to why he already understood it. That's we have a connection like that where that's not lost. And to explain it, he understood what that meant.
Yeah, but that's I was taken by surprise on that. I almost wish I would have had a camera on me while I was watching, so I'd get a look at my lack of poker face, or when I have one, because I think I am a dead giveaway,
So Chris, is there coffee in executive session? Like, are you allowed to talk about what happens in executive session, or?
I don't think I'm allowed to talk about what happens in executive session.
But even if you weren't officially allowed, you got to make decisions on whether I'm allowed or not. How will it affect my interactions with the rest of the committee? So like, we are going to have to understand that as well. You know what I mean? There is going to be certain unity you need there, more than exactly saying something that you couldn't. No, man. I think I know you have everybody. I'm looking at right here. Our total trust, man. So even first thing, if I don't understand it, I'm going to assume I'm missing part of a puzzle that I'm not part of. I mean, you definitely have that coming from me. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I always I want to regardless of what my opinions are, on some of the board members or mayor or the town attorney or whoever, at the end of the day, I have a responsibility to, to care for my constituents, whether they're Ward 3 or whether it's a decision that has to be made for the whole town of Dover. I have to be able to have a relationship with the body and mayor in order to to be able to reach across the aisle and get some things done, and that's a whole another art that I have to master. I have to master the art of of compromise and be able to just what, shake hands and let's move forward and again, they I think today was a good day for them to realize that the new people that are in, we're not playing any games. We're here for the better of our town, and if we can continue compromising and keep reaching aside the aisle, and there's a couple things that I do agree, and there's some things that I don't agree, and I'm sure they feel the same way. But who's gonna trash the ego and actually reach across the aisle? I've killed my ego many times, many times over, many ways, through my accident and through, other things. And killing the ego is the number one thing, to be able to put your feelings, opinions, and everything to the side and do what's right.
Yeah, the opposite of Ramon. He had an armor of ego on today. It was literally an armor of ego. You make a mistake, you get it wrong. I mean, again, I think he knew he was wrong to begin with, and I think they just got a little hand caught in the cookie jar kind of moment.
Yeah.
But be willing to acknowledge when you're wrong. I don't understand why some people have such difficulty with that.
It was called.
People get things wrong.
It's the ego. The ego will do that. Sometimes ego's good and bad. You just have to learn when ego is good. I know I caught myself, when I was speaking to the attorney. I was like, well, are we going by Robert's Rules of Order and our ordinances? Yes or no? Because as an activist, I know what's coming. I know you're going to give me a whole paragraph, 2 paragraphs explaining to me. My question was simple. Are we ignoring Robert's Rules of Order and our town ordinance? Yes or no? And then as soon as that I let that go, I was like, oh shit, the activist came out. It was like, oh shit. Like, I didn't know if I was being too strong, but hearing it over again, I was just assertive. You know what I mean? It was just I wanted the people to understand what was going on the simple way, not people getting 2 paragraphs and getting lost in that paragraph and saying, "Oh yeah, let it go." You know what I mean? So I just wanted it simple, something simple that everybody can understand.
Yeah, you gotta turn on a dime and be able to compartmentalize going from one issue. Okay, now next issue. We
Right.
don't have to do that in regular life. We can be watching this game all the way through, not doing something else halftime. But you have to be able to compartmentalize and take whatever you just felt about what that person's
Yeah.
saying to now how do you feel what he's saying about an entirely different issue. And that's got to be an art form unto itself. But I think people that can do that are recognized too. You know what I mean? Because like when you're passionate about one thing, take a deep breath and now you're on something else. It shows. And
Yeah.
I think it'll be a natural. I think you're gonna be able to get the respect of people there, even people that you disagree with, because they're used to people. You know, compared to Mike and Lefty, the kind of people they still going to have to deal with, dealing with you is going to be a pleasure now. I mean, because, but you get to this is like, it's hard to wrap my head around it,
I
It's
just see the wheels turning. All like
yeah,
he
but
gets a sentence out and the wheel starts turning
yeah,
again. It's just like
it's like whack-a-mole where it works, though. You're whacking them down all over the place, But that's also what makes it fun to be sitting on the outside of it all and able to enjoy it. Like I have a part in it only because it's like, hey, that's what I would do. That's a good move, but yet I just in my head I can't get this image out of. No, I'd like to hear him speak. One time you got to do that for me one time when it's coming. Think, oh, here it is. That serious sort of casual. But wow, there's a lot you're going to have to.
That first speaker Chris, that first speaker who spoke, who talked about, like he broke it down systematically where Ramon was wrong. Was he like a former councilman, or was he like just a resident? Or?
He's a resident. He's also worked closely with he's part of the Morris County Democratic Committee.
Oh, okay.
He's also sits on the school board.
Oh, okay.
He was on the planning board as well. He's very knowledgeable. He's very knowledgeable. Yeah, he's always on top. He's the guy that he'll break it down for you. You know what I mean? Like he knows the ins and outs pretty much.
Yeah,
he's really good, and he breaks it down to simple. So like the casual person that's getting into politics or just trying to figure the way out, he explains it and says it in a manner where anybody can understand what's going on. Yeah. And I mean, even after he spoke, it still was, to know that I don't want to say that. I hate to say this, but like, it's almost as if the person that was speaking at the podium, what they said didn't matter, So, and again, it's like, it's not really something that, I can't agree with that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, I can't just this guy just broke down and pretty much it almost seems as if like he memorized that part of the law or the ordinance where like he knew it, per word, you know. So it was pretty amazing, you know, like, but you know, it's just, you know, how do I say, you know, it's just, I like it because it's for the people. He explains it for the people. I don't think he really does it for us, because I think he knows that on the other side, we know, you know what I mean? Like they know, you know, they
Yeah,
should know. So like it's more like him doing it for the people.
yeah. I was glad that he went first because it just set the whole tone. The lawyer didn't even respond to it, and throughout the entire portion of public comments, there was that lingering thing in the air that what is going on here with the lawyer? What was, you know?
Yeah.
And then the mayor trying to go home.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even, yeah. I don't even know. I don't honestly,
Be careful, this is recorded.
I've never seen something like that before, you know, like, so
Yeah.
that was something new. Even as an activist, I don't think I've ever seen that. So it was weird, you know, but, I'm glad he was able to stay and we were able to move what we needed to move forward. But yeah, it was a little crazy, you know, it was a little
I've
crazy.
seen a mayor one time in Sayreville, Mayor O'Brien shut down the meeting. He just shut it down entirely. But he
But
didn't
just
even.
like a walk off, like it was almost like a mic drop.
It
But
was like I
not,
gotta go. I gotta go.
yeah,
I really gotta go. I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's bad legal advice. He said, you know, that's what Ramon said. He says, well, if you don't have a quorum, they can't do nothing. So his legal advice was to just leave,
walk out, right?
walk out, and ignore Robert's rules. I guess because that's a violation of Robert's rules, isn't it? It's unethical, isn't it? At least, or
It's a violation of the OPMA.
Yeah. I mean, I would
You
think
can't just
there
get up
would
and
be
leave.
some sort of, yeah, you can't just leave, you know, it's just, you know, and it was a little weird too, you know, like I don't understand 2/3 of the vote, regardless if there's, you know, if there's people there or not, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird because, you know, we had a quorum, but we didn't have, there wasn't, you know what I mean? There was obviously people that weren't there. So it was kind of like a weird situation, you know, it was a, but I'm
The
glad I was able to
council.
understand the situation because that I've never seen it happen. I've never experienced that, and it was like a big learning process.
He's
Oh,
the
it's gonna.
presider over the meeting. I mean, he walks out. He's running the meeting. He walks out. Then what?
Yeah,
You know, that was weird to watch.
yeah.
Like,
It
there's
was
no vice
something. It was
president
something
in
special.
Dover. There's no vice president in Dover. Or,
No,
like, it's not. Yeah, okay, right. So who
Mm.
would, in theory, like, if Mayor Dodd didn't show up to the meeting, who would be in charge of running it?
I think he would appoint somebody.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, now you got people to ask. you know?
Okay. No, that would make
yeah,
sense.
yeah. I think he appoints. I think he appoints somebody. If I'm not mistaken, I think it happened in the Blackman administration where she wasn't able to attend and she had Sandra running the meeting.
Okay,
Do you
yeah.
have? do you
One
have-
thing I'm very interested about, and only because I don't have my skills brushed up when it comes to it, is just the different forms of government that we have, like in New Jersey. You know, you have like the Faulkner Act. You know, you have ways that boroughs are run as opposed to cities and stuff like that. Weak mayor, strong mayor. It's one of the things that I look forward to. You know, getting
Yeah, I
more.
mean we were Dover had aldermen before and now we're council. So you know I think that's a difference as well too. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting.
You know, because sometimes mayors don't even go to meetings. You know, they're not even dependent on their form of government.
Right.
Chris, do you have somebody uh, that's also on the council that you would normally go to? I mean, in passing, if you have a question, like, I don't know if we are that, there's people sitting next to you or are going to be with you before a meeting begins. I would be thinking that's where your first line of questioning would go, to somebody that's like right there, because there are people there going to
Sit down.
help. They're going to help you assimilate here. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the natural process. There's people, and it's in their best interest to help you, your IQ of how meetings are run and why. So, yeah, you're going to be having quite a learning experience here. You know. So yeah. You got to be like a more regular guest on the podcast. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll always have some questions. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been attending like workshops and like stuff like that. I've been invited to the Morris County Democratic Committee has invited me to kind of teach me the roll calls and the Robert's Rules of Order, and kind of teach me the basics, teach me the ropes of these things, and they've been a big help. Honestly, they've gave me the resources to, if I need to ask anybody a question or anything, reach out to the committee. And the committee, we have people from Boonton, Parsippany, Chatham. You know what I mean? So like it's a well connected committee, and it seems to work good. You know what I mean? Like they're there, they're present. Some of them showed up today to the town meeting to show support, and I think that's great. That's awesome, because we need to stick up for each other and help each other out. And you know seeing those familiar faces, and seeing like Lefty, Mikey, Chris, and people that that I have gone to school with, or helped in the past, or whatever the case may be. It kind of makes it a little easier for me too. It kind of makes me chill, relax, everything's all right, seeing those familiar faces too. So, it's a big, it's in conjunction with everything, you know what I mean? Like having that support is important, regardless if it's committee or friends and family.
Love it.
Yeah, that was good saying I assume your family, you're swearing in. That was like you had a good team there,
Yeah. I had my grandfather, my mother, my brother, my sister, and my son there.
Wow.
Yeah. My brother, he was supposed to go in with his National Guard uniform in, but he didn't want to dress up for the occasion. But it was pretty good. It's cool. It's cool.
It wasn't lost on me. It was like a very
Yeah. So it's good. It's good. It's beautiful.
It is.
And having that support means everything to me. Honestly, like it just I was anxious. I mean, I think 2 3 days ago, I was I've never really had like I don't know if it was an anxiety attack or whatever, but I'm sitting there and I'm on my laptop and I'm just like, I just finished doing what I was doing, and I just sitting on the home screen, and I'm just sitting at looking at the home screen. I'm like, holy shit, 48 hours, 48 hours. And I'm like, and then I start, my breathing goes into manual mode. So now I'm breathing manually, trying to, all right, breathe again. So and that's never happened to me before. You know what I mean? Like I've never gone to the point where I have to remember, breathe. Cause I went into, it was like my breathing wasn't autopilot anymore. Like I actually had to think about breathing. And that's never happened to me before. I've never felt this, And
Rush. I love it.
yeah, dude. And then I mean, I've sat in the room with Governor Murphy's chief of staff, and then all this, and then, but this was different. This was a whole nother level of emotions and feelings and everything combined. And it was crazy.
Bro, that's called reality, dude. And it's like you think and there's certain realities. I mean, and this is one of the good ones. I mean, there's realities when people get to it, they thought they were prepared, and there's no way you could have been.
They're the best nerves you could have in life. Those are the nerves that you want to chase. I mean, I love it.
Yeah. You know, and then after that, after that happened, I'm like, all right, like this is for me. This is the feeling that, like, I've never felt before, but it was like positive. It was something good. Like, it was like, I think it was just me comprehending. I'm like, holy shit, like, I have not only a couple thousand of people to worry about in my ward, but now I have my whole town, the town that I was born in, the town that I wrestled, played football, basketball, ran cross country. I put on my school colors, my alma mater, you know what I mean? Like, this is my grandfather came here in the 70s to this town that he chose to call it home as an immigrant. So I think all those feelings, all that, came into play, and I'm like, holy shit, this is real. Like, and then walking in and then seeing my first and last name up there with the rest of the people, the rest of the board and mayor, I'm just like, yeah, this is good. This is good. You know what I mean? So,
It's all I got in my life that actually relate to is I had to get a part-time job as driving a cab. When I was taking care of Cheryl, and she went to Oklahoma, where a whole village literally could take care of her, which meant I had to work every waking hour. So anyway, I driving a cab. Now, I go pulling up to a UPS place on Route 37. I'm giving him a ride home. I'm the cab driver, and I'm like, I'm driving up. I'm not a cab driver. I think I'm a cab driver. He's gonna get in here thinking I'm a cab driver, and I'm not. I'm driving, and I'm going to get paid, but I drive all the time. This is my hometown. I know where I am, and we'll talk. And weird, I didn't start breathing hard or nothing like that, but it was like, well, okay, so then I got to learn to be that guy too,
Yeah.
And I'm glad the reality hit in a pleasant way. Anyway.
What happened to Mikey?
I think he froze. It looked like he froze.
He froze sideways.
Looks like he's falling down and can't get up.
He dropped his phone. He's dropped all right. Well, Chris, again, congratulations, man.
Yeah, it's good to catch you for this long while it's like still in effect. It's like, oh, that was today. Yeah.
Yeah, it was hours ago.
Yeah, that makes it like there's a good podcast.
Yeah. You know what? I hope more activists come out and try to take the position and try to get involved in their town in that way. I hope I set I hope I pave a path for activists.
You already have and are. I mean, because you got to hear, but I got to say it's a natural. I mean, I look at it like if I was writing a script for something, it's you. It's what you've done, your roots to the area and all that. I've heard, this is how movies start sometimes, but I'm just saying that it's all for the good and the right reasons. And, there's going to be reasons like it's going to come with, you're going to end up, unfortunately, you're going to be helpless at times, but you got what it takes to compartmentalize. I think you're going to know, if you don't already know what I said is really true. You've been drafted. This is like a lot tougher choice to leave than it was to enter. That's a fact. And then when your successes draft you in even further, and it's just funny to see where is it going to go. I'm genuinely happy for you. And I like the idea that Mikey being creative like he is and having that good angle on all this, and it's he could make just a super cut of of this day. I mean, he has what it takes. Come on, you didn't just take a quick swearing in today, man, it was a journey,
Yeah.
right on down to, I just wonder, are we going by opinions or Robert's Rule of Order? It was like, it
Just hit the
needed,
ground running.
yeah, it needed to be said. And,
Yeah.
but, keeping emotions out of it and doing it like you're already good at that. It's going to be, you're coming with a position of, nobody can peg you yet. I mean, they don't know what they're getting into with you. So like, I'm kind of wondering, it just would be interesting to be a fly on the wall with discussions going on somewhere else. What do you think about Chris? I don't know. I mean, that's happening too. And I got to in some form. And I don't know, man, but you have the credentials, and I didn't know. I mean, I know you're attached to Dover, but I mean, you got some roots there. So like, I have confidence you're gonna be good at adapting and coming on the podcast.
Will we see bring up cleanup flyers around town hall now?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I haven't really. My focus has been really on this reorganization, and I'm trying to put in place a couple of things that I've been fighting for a long time now. So now I get to roll up my sleeves, work with other council members, and try to do right, do the things that I ran on, transparency and accessibility, and I feel like I have to, what I mean, I do.
Well, you got to learn where your boundaries are that you don't know yet, because that's going to be part of your learning experience. And those are also the boundaries that we don't know about as advocates, being able to even now more fully understand there's boundaries I don't know where I'm pushing, am I missing something? Where are the compromises? Maybe this is just a world of interesting,
Yeah.
Yes, I hope it's an example. I hope it starts a trend. I think it could, because there's even, if anything, growing concern with people about their lives, and locally especially, and there's opportunity to change the way things are done, starting on a council. I mean, what the hell is going to happen in Dover? Now, how long this is like every 2 years?
Yeah, I have a 2-year term.
Yeah. Oh, this is too cool. I mean, it's cool for me because look, I get to enjoy, and I don't have to do nothing. I'll put on the headphones and move to the keyboard after this. I don't have to say, I should start looking at Robert's Rules of Orders where I might want to be a little more well versed. You got to do shit like that, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to hold certain things in my pocket for use where it's like on the endocannabinoid system or something like that, where I can really get some zingers, because it's easy to be the smartest guy in the room about focused parts of things, and you'll recognize that pretty good. I think you're often running, you're going to have a lot more of that reality checks just out of nowhere. You might make notes of them too. I think that's just kind of funny that all of a sudden wait a minute, looking at the screen and, the clarity hits. Yeah, you're going to be going through some flashes. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. Well, Jim, I think, the main, one of the things I have to give credit is activists like yourself and Lefty and, and Jeff, because in all reality, you guys paved the path for me. I've learned so much from you guys in such a short amount of time, and you know, you guys paved this path for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I just took a little detour. You know, like I tell Lefty, I like side missions.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I was on the path, and you know, I saw a side road that looked, you know, promising, and you know, the more we pave these paths for others, more side roads we're gonna find, more things that we can find where other openings, other opportunities will open up, you know, and and thanks to you guys, this is one of those opportunities that popped up, you know, and I if I didn't take it, I would have been kicking myself, you know, in all honesty.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah, you definitely probably okay. You definitely probably would have. But I appreciate what you're saying about because I mean even I've known a long oh God, a really long journey. I can't even believe when I look back and things in my own life. I'm thinking, was that really me that did that? I mean, I got video. I did, you know.
Yeah.
But knowing that, and that's what I would tell Cheryl. It's like the real victory is you don't know. You influence people that you don't know.
Yep.
You just have to know that you do. So it's really rare that something like this sets up where you can look right at the person saying that otherwise there are others you don't know because you don't cross paths with them personally. If you, I don't know if you can follow what I'm saying, but it was validating something I didn't need validated, you know. But hearing somebody actually say the words, you know, yeah, I would hope some of it rubbed off, you know. Sure you can, you know, simple. Whatever
Yeah.
someone, sure you can. Well, you can't just actually you can, you know,
Yeah.
to a lot of it. But now, you know, being able to adapt and you got the tough part done. I don't think there's much that could break your direction because you are that committed and it's real. And you are an inside, but you do have credentials that go along with it as well to help you along that path. So, yeah, I think you're going to find a lot of good for your own self and your own personal growth as you do this. I'm hoping you'll be able to look at it honestly when you start thinking, am I patting myself on the back? You know what? I'll be honest with you. I gotta stop, and I mean, literally, I'll do that to make a point. You know, um, mostly when I'm by myself, and you know, uh, yeah, you'll be able to do that too. You know, it's you're there. Good health to you too. You know.
Thank you, Jim. I
How,
really appreciate it, man. Like, you know, I've looked up to you guys. So, you know, like this victory is not only mine, it's those who taught me, those who, you know, who knew me since in a wheelchair and believed in me when I was in a wheelchair, you know.
yeah.
I always thought, you know, how do I say it? It's like my first town meeting, I went with Jeff, Lefty, and Chris and Wayne.
Whoa, what a team! Holy crap!
Um,
Whoa.
and I wasn't supposed to speak. I didn't want to speak.
Oh, I remember.
Um,
Yeah, I remember this.
I had no confidence. I was in a wheelchair. I had a urine bag attached to my leg. Um, I had to go up these stairs that were challenging, or you know, or real bad accessibility, and you know, and that's all that played in my mind was this. I took this because I wanted to get out of the house. I was starting to get depressed and all these other things, and activism came because I wanted to get out the house. And then, you know, with everything that happened to Jeff, and then my vision, like the way I looked at things was different. If Jeff can do this, you know what I mean? And
Oh yeah.
Jeff's situation was hard, and I was in a wheelchair. I knew my future was gonna be okay. Um, and just that courage that Jeff displayed and kept going, like it's just one of those things where like I had my hands were tied. It's like, you know, I don't want to explain it this way, but it's like if he can do it, I can do it too. You know, like I'm no different. You know, um, I just wish, you know, some of those people that I shared that time would be able to see this and share all these emotions and share all these things that we experience together, because it's something beautiful. You know, it really is. You know, like I would have never thought, you know, being a cannabis activist, that, you know, we deal with stigma. We many times we got, you know, get out of my town, we don't want you here, we don't want that here. And then, you know, and here I go rolling away in my wheelchair. And then, you know, and now I embrace, you know, the disabled, the vets, the everything. You know what I mean? It's just now I embrace it. And that's and the big thing that Jeff always said, and it sticks with me, is lead with compassion.
Man, you know, this is like a story waiting to be told. I mean, everything is just wound up to a whole new thing going on, and it's incredible how this is going to be a lot of good examples set just by people seeing what's going on that unfold. I feel like really good about how everything worked out, but then the people you just described going to that meeting, you know, I mean, what the hell? You had like an all-star team of exactly what you needed to literally elevate you to physically do and then feel what it felt like at the end of the day, so to speak, you know, realizing that you could do, I don't know what that felt like then, you know, at the end of that day, you know, because like you said, it was all new to you then, you know, but all of that did sort of set your foundation for what you're doing now in a way that's like a storybook thing going on, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. If you lined it up, it's like building a pyramid, you know.
It literally is, you know, and it can go as far as back as my car accident. You know, I'm not.
Oh, actually, not
You know?
far back. Without that, none of this may have happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if it did, not to the effect that it could have this way. That's why I say it's almost like going back. Well, you know what? It's a good story, but how about we add he had an accident, so he had the physical. Oh, good for, you know. I mean, the reality of the story is like it's like an echo of itself. And you know,
Yeah.
I know what
Sometimes I feel like not even a movie director could come up with this.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Who would believe it? And you know, it's not always like, well, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. You know, it's sort of like there are certain truths that you'll tell people, and they're going to swear you're exaggerating and embellishing, and it'll be the honest truth. Weird shit's already happened, you know.
Yeah.
But you're set, and I think you're just the person for the job, dude. I really do, man. This is like, it helps me deal with other things in the world, knowing, as personally, watching something work out. You know, that's a good push. You know, because everything you say about the people is all about. Every politics is local. Well, the people are as local as you can get when it comes to politics. Actual, real people, and then you know that you don't have to meet them to know they exist. See, that's what I always found to be true, and I'd say right now within a mile of here, and I can describe pain and shit going on that families can't help, and they're helpless all while we're doing this right now, and you know it's there too. You got drafted a long time ago, dude. I didn't think you got drafted. I was wrong about that, man. You just re-upping here. That's all.
Yeah.
That was that. Holy shit! I just re-upped. Oh man, you can't get off the path either, man. This is so cool, man. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, we have to wait a couple of weeks for some fights, I guess, because I know you're a UFC lover and bare knuckle lover. I know you even take pictures where you get backstage. You know, like half of these fighters now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's surreal, you know. Honestly, I've had a great 2025, you know, and I hope it's just a build up for 2026 because you know I've worked hard at everything, you know. I dedicate myself to the things I do, you know. I go 100% on whatever I do, and if I stick to it, it's what it is, you know. Like Lefty pointed out, you know, getting access to these, you know, professional fighters and see what they go through and be able to take pictures of them in their most vulnerable times, you know, jaw all swollen in Mike Perry and, you know, all these other things all cut up. And, you know, it's just, you know, it's surreal, honestly. I've had a great 2025 and I'm expecting even a better 2026.
Yeah, me too. At least it'll have a mitigating effect on other shit that ain't gonna be good going on. You know, you need to know somewhere something's working out. You know,
Yeah.
and that this does that for me. That's enough. You know?
Johnny Trash says you inspire me, Chris, and he also says God had to break you in order to rebuild you. Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, somebody when I was, you know, doing rehab at a facility here in Florham Park, I had somebody tell me, you know, God gives his strongest fights. What is it? His strongest fights to his strongest warriors, or something of that sort.
Yeah,
Um,
the strongest fights, but it was more the opposite of the strongest warriors.
to his
We
toughest warriors.
it's the other. It's the other. You know, it's giving the heaviest loads to the weakest person with the most whatever. You know what? That's one thing AI is good for. I swear, I can ask questions like that here, and I do that, and 3 clarifications later, it's like over or under. Okay, up. Okay, over. You know, you finally get to that number. But yeah, it's been good. I got to drift off to dinner. This has been great, man. It's like, you know, it's like that. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. Blah 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 blah. I'm having too much fun. Bullshit. That's when everybody else bullshit. You know.
Well, here we go. Thank you, Mad Hatter. Thank you, CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org, where you can donate $1 million to our organization. Thank you. Our list here, I have a bell here. It's a different bell. I'm going to do my best. I think I got it. I like the bell. I don't care what kind of bell it is at this point.
I love it. It's to pause. It's the comma between things. You know, it's a person and then the bell, and then the person and then a bell. They were individuals. You know, they weren't one big mass blob of people. They were individuals. You know.
Yeah, I like the bell, Lefty, because you know, I love combat sports, and when somebody passes away in boxing, they ring them out every time. They give them 10 rings on the bell. They hit the bell, and they do it. They ding, let it ring out, and another one. So it fits because, you know, everybody on this list, you know, fought for what they believed in, and it paid the ultimate price fighting. So it fits.
And you know, for a lot of them, what gets me is they knew that their own life would not outlast the fight.
Cheryl, Sabina, Diane, Gracie, Cindy May, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Holly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Paulette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Patty, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Alicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, Yolanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia, Wayne, Waxy, Joe Marie, Defos. That's about 70 bells, I think, right, Jim? 70?
No, it's a little less.
60?
It was 61 at last count, I think. It'll be more as quick as I say that. It may have risen and we don't know, you know. We don't get the memo sometimes.
We lost a lot last year. We lost a lot of good people last year.
Yeah. You know, it's like there's always one that seems harder than the rest. Oddly enough, it was, I was looking back at some of the videos Gary Sage did back in the old days, you know, and, you know, it's just, yeah, so coincidentally, I put something over my Facebook page based on that. You know, it got me going. Actually, that's why I was late tonight. And I got here, Chris, nobody's there. I was like, oh, there's nothing going on. Oh, man. You know, so I kept it on, you know, but I went to doing other stuff. And then I hear, oh, Jim's there. Ooh, cool, you know. It's like, it was like going on 5 o'clock. And it was, I was there, for like 2 minutes. I mean, it wasn't long. I thought, holy crap, man. See, that was fortuitous. That's right. I said it. Fortuitous. Yes.
Well, thanks, everybody. Thanks, Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is, I need it tonight. This is good, man. It's a good way to start out the year. It really is.
Happy New Year, everybody. And we'll see you all soon.
All right.
They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. We shall not weary them, nor the years
condemn.
The going down of the sun in the morning, we will remember.
Remember them.
Thank you.
Peace out, man.
Good night.